Welcome to the Bandito Podcast, where we're calling a spade a spade. Great to be here with you guys today. They don't like it when you use their own logic against them. Jemele Hill having a meltdown. Woke folk having a meltdown. Folks, all we're doing, we're just feeding into your delusion. We're agreeing with you. We are granting you your position. All you have to do is identify as a woman, and you're a woman. We're granting you that. So when we have former NBA players doing this, declaring for the WNBA draft, Jemele Hill, you should be perfectly okay with this. They're living their truth. They're coming out, so to speak. And everybody that's supporting them in their decision, we're agreeing with your ideology. We're granting it to you. Let them come out. As long as they identify, man, then it is who they are. They should be able to participate in sports. If they say that they're a trans woman, man, they might as well be a real woman. I'm a real boy. They might as well be a real woman. Jemele Hill can't handle it. A lot of woke folks, can't handle it. When you use their logic against, when you buy into the delusion, when you buy into the ridiculousness of it all, well, don't be surprised when this happens. And don't now suddenly say, wait, this isn't right. This shouldn't be happening. Well, Jemele Hill, you're the reason why it's happening. Let's get right into it, shall we? Like the video, hype the video, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and subscribe to the channel. That would mean so much to me. Jemele Hill melting down after Enes Freedom Cantor declares for the WNBA draft. If you have to constantly invent hypothetical, implausible scenarios to try to make a point, maybe the point you're making is just fucking dumb. Jemele Hill, again, they would rather just ignore what's actually taking place around them. Jemele Hill, these are a bunch of high school kids. These are a bunch of high school boys that have bought into the delusion that you push, that have bought into the ideology that you advocate for. They said, you know what? I ain't cutting it on the boys' team, but where I will cut it, what I will excel at is running track, running cross country for the girls' team. And so they did. Numerous boys in high schools across the country have been switching their identification overnight. Why? In order to compete with the girls. In order to feel better about themselves, beating a bunch of girls in track and field, in cross country. And the result of that, an entire team of girls lose. 50 girls, an entire team, lost the state championship because the boy won a girls' pole vault event, which gives you 10 points, and that girls' team lost by 1 point. That person probably affected at least 100 girls that season.
An entire team from Freeport High School, 50 girls, lost the state championship because the boy won the pole vault event, which gives you 10 points, and that girls' team lost by 1 point. So, it's one person. That person probably affected at least 100 girls that season. And even one's too many.
One's too many, exactly. But Jemele Hill thinks these are hypotheticals. Jemele Hill is going to ignore that story. Jemele Hill is going to ignore Alyssa Liu's brother's story. She's going to ignore all the story. The wrestling story. She's going to ignore all the stories. Because in her mind, they're hypothetical. Because if you pay no attention to it, they don't happen. Shout out to John Root. John Root's not letting Jemele Hill run from this. Jemele, Will Thomas did the same thing. Spent the majority of his career competing with men and then transitioned to women's sports. It's not hypothetical. It's what has happened all over the country. The fact you can't see and understand that, astounding. Jemele Hill fires back. What's the rule now? They can't compete. All of Leah Thomas's what's the rule now? They can't compete. All of Leah Thomas's records were vacated. So again, what will it take for people like you to just leave trans people alone and stop fucking crying? What will it take for people like you to actually stand up for women and girls and say that their sports and spaces should remain female? Jemele Hill fires back. Since you want to play that game, how come you haven't said shit about how Heritage Foundation, the authors of Project 2025, wants to eradicate Title IX, the single most impactful piece of policy in women's sports? The Heritage Foundation believes women participating in sports gives them too much confidence in leadership, so they want to eliminate it. You won't shut the fuck up about trans women, but something that would literally destroy women's sports, silent. Now, this blurb that Jemele Hill put out here says nothing about eradicating Title IX. Title IX has evolved from a seemingly modest anti-discrimination statute into a powerful engine of feminist social engineering, complete with proportionality mandates. The result has been two systemic distortions that rest on a false premise. The differences in competitiveness and interest between the sexes are stereotypes to be engineered away through state action and cultural revolution. Equality under Title IX does not require identical outcomes or the erasure of sex differences. It requires opportunity rooted in human nature that will reveal genuine differences between the sexes. Recovering an approach that accommodates the partly natural, partly cultural differences between the sexes can sustain vibrant women's sports, protect and perhaps expand male opportunities, and contribute to a healthier and more humane social. Now, maybe I misinterpreted, but nowhere in here does it state that it wants to get rid of Title IX. I actually clicked into the Heritage Foundation. They put out a whole entire document on this. They want to reform Title IX. Number one, they want to reform it. And again, I did a quick skim through. They want a few things. Thing number one, they think it's unfair that since there's a lack of interest in women's sports and they don't make nearly as much money, they think it's unfair to a certain degree that the men's sports are funding the women's sports. Partially, part of it. Difference between the sexes. They're thinking that the feminists are finding the gray area or using the gray area that shouldn't really even be gray between male and female to allow people that identify as female, even though that they're men, to participate in women's sports. Another thing. It has nothing to do with getting rid of women's sports at all. If you take a look at it, I encourage all of you to take a look at it and let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section below. But here's Johnny Root responding. Jemele, you're playing an irrational game that says men can become women. As for Heritage, you're lying that Heritage wants to abolish Title IX. You and Megan Rapinoe know that. Heritage argues that Title IX should strictly protect biological sex, male and female, as originally understood in 1972, opposing expansions that include gender identity and sexual orientation like Biden and his admin tried to incorporate. I won't pretend to be an adamant Heritage supporter in all that they do, but what they propose is meant to protect fairness in women's sports and safety in their spaces. Why is it so hard for you to say that women's sports should remain female? Yeah. I mean, Jemele Hill getting absolutely cooked yesterday. Where'd you go? And then Jemele Hill disappears. Jemele Hill disappears. It also completely defeats the spirit of competition to allow men to dominate women's sports. Like, why does anybody, especially women, want that weird leftist ideology? They're a clown. Indeed. How did Title now get involved? Yeah, just bringing things up. Yeah. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like the video, hype the video, subscribe to the channel. That means so much to me. See you next time, and as always, take it easy.